showcasing local talent, professionals, and everyday people making Salt Lake City what it is today. It's time for another episode of the I Am Salt Lake podcast.
Welcome to episode 65 of the I Am Salt Lake podcast. My name is Chris Hollifield. I am the host. Welcome to my show. IamSaltLake.com is the website where you can find all of the information regarding the podcast. I got all the previous episodes right there online. You can stream them. You can download them. Also, all the contact information, email, Facebook, Twitter. I'm everywhere. That way you can get in touch with me and let me know what you think of the show. Also, now streaming on the Mediocre Radio Network. Go to mediocreradionetwork.com and find out more about that. Find all of the great podcasts that are involved with that. You know, it's a beautiful time of the year here in Salt Lake City. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to head downtown and take part in the Open Streets Festival that went on downtown, and rented, got a promo code for one of the green bikes and rode around down there and checked that out. A really great program that you guys need to check out. Go downtown, check that out. Rent a green bike. I mean, it's a really great deal. It's $5 for 24 hours. You just ride around downtown and enjoy the city. Hey, this episode, I had an opportunity to take my podcasting gear down to Utah County and chat with three of the main people involved with the Beehive Bazaar. I chatted with Richard, Noelle, and Becky. They do a lot with the Beehive Bazaar. They kind of help run the show with that. If you guys aren't familiar with the Beehive Bazaar, it's a twice-a-year event that goes on down in Utah County, May as well as December, and it's coming up May 9th through the 11th and May 17th through the 18th at the Riverwoods down in Provo. Highly suggest you check it out. It's they're on their 10th year of doing it. It's a really great event. They have a lot of unique handmade art and crafts, as well as some artists. About 60 independent local and national artists and crafters that you could check out. Really great time to go help support the local scene, buy some local made items, and it's just a really fun event. Go to the beehivebazaar.com. I'll list all of the links on the show notes here for episode 65. That way you can get in touch with them, their Facebook, their Twitter, their YouTube. They're all on all the social media networks. So like I said, I took my gear down to Utah County and chatted with Richard, Noelle, and Becky. That conversation will be here shortly. I also, in the podcast episode, this episode of the podcast, playing a track by a local band here from Salt Lake City, Q&A. The title of the track is Sleep Talking. I really enjoyed the song, so I thought I would end the episode by playing that song. So make sure you stay till the end and check that out. Get in touch with me if you would like to be a guest on the episode, on a future episode of the show. IamSaltLake@gmail.com. I'd love to bring you on and showcase you and let you share your story on what you're doing to make the area just a little bit better. If you're a local business owner or an artist, a musician, just doing something really cool, get in touch with me. I'd love to find out your story. Other than that, let's jump into that conversation that I had with Richard, Noelle, and Becky from the Beehive Bazaar. Thanks for listening to another episode of the I Am Salt Lake podcast. I kind of just like if you guys want to just introduce yourself a little bit and kind of what your role is with the Beehive Bazaar. That's probably a good place to start, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
So yeah,
sure.
Who wants to go first?
I'll start. So my name's Richard. This is my now second show with the Bazaar. I was once a vendor before that, so I'm pretty new to the Beehive Bazaar. But as far as duties, I feel like we're kind of a collaborative team here, but I kind of do more of the financial side of things, the least exciting side of things.
The
Some
side
social
that no
media.
one wants to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook. We all kind of chip in on that, though, pretty equally.
Yeah.
So,
my name's Noelle, and I have been at it since the beginning in 2003, I believe was our first show. Yeah, we definitely collaborate, but I've been, kind of organizing the vendors and keeping track of all of that mostly.
So the first show was in 2003 then. It was, and so that makes it 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really should be like pushing that a little bit more.
I know.
But it's our 10-year anniversary. Whatever.
Yeah, definitely. So, and it started in a little house in Provo and has grown from there.
Wow. Was the spring show the first show?
No, it was Christmas 2003. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not
push that.
quite 10 years, so we're all right then.
Almost,
Okay,
yeah.
We're fine.
9.5 years old.
And I'm Becky, and I, like Richard, just kind of came on as an owner recently, but I've been a vendor for a while now, off and on. But I'm a graphic designer as my sort of full-time real life job. So I do a lot of graphics for the bazaar. Anything image related is what I contribute.
Awesome. And then I'm assuming you have other volunteers as well that help out with the show. It's not just you three that are solely carrying the load.
It totally is.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
just
much.
us.
Just
A lot of our vendors chip in. Will come and help, cashier during the day and set up. And we do have people who aren't necessarily vendors will come help us as well.
absolutely awesome. And so let's go back a little bit. You were mentioning the first show that you did in a house in Provo. Mm-hmm. In 2003.
Yep.
What inspired the idea? Talk a little bit about that, kind of what inspired it to start.
I think, we had some friends had been getting together and, crafting and just, making things. And we just kind of were talking and thought about, why not put together something so that we can sell these things we're making. And it just kind of started from there. And actually, we had a good friends, Cass and Dan Barney, who are artists here in Utah. And they had been doing a show in their house, and they said, we're too busy, we're doing too many things, and, would you like to kind of take over our list of vendors and our list of customers? And so, with their kind of small list of people is what we started with, and then grew from there. So
about how many vendors were part of the first?
It was just artist friends of theirs. It was probably like 15 people or so.
And about how many are part of the event now?
Now I believe we have
74, 72.
Yeah. So we have 60, there's 60 vendors, and then we've added a special new element this year of established artists, and we have 13 of those who will be joining us this spring.
And established artists, what do you talk a little bit about, artists as far as just showcasing their art?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, we've kind of tended toward the craft side of things. Mm-hmm. And so, we thought, why not kind of bring art back into it? And so, we kind of just thought of, who, actually we're taking it back to the very beginning, because Cass and Dan Barney are going to be, showcasing some of their art.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
And just some people, some of the artists who are, still live here in Utah, but, are represented in galleries and, are very well known and very, their art is fairly expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so they are going to contribute and, bring things or, perhaps make something experimental, something different that they can sell for a little bit less, make it good for everybody.
Awesome. Now, before we go much further, just to mention for people listening, the event, you do it twice a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And has it always been twice a year that you've done it, or?
Yeah.
Okay. And so I have it's going to be Thursday, May 9th, the 10th and 11th, and then the next weekend as well, right? You're doing it 2 different weekends in May.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's a first for us too. We have
That is
never
new.
done 2 weekends in a row. So
It's always been
be
the
fun.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
So
And the hours, so people can check it out.
we're 10 to 10 Thursday, Friday, and 10 to 8 Saturday. And then that next weekend will be 10 to 10 on Friday, 10 to 8 on Saturday.
At the Riverwoods. At the Riverwoods. What you used to do it at a different location, the Women's Center or something like that in Provo.
yeah, we've skipped around
You
quite a bit.
skipped around quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's hard to find an empty space that's big enough for us. That's
Yeah.
always empty.
Definitely.
That's the challenge for each show, is to find a location where we can fit.
Yeah.
But Riverwoods has been a really great home the last couple
Yeah.
of shows. So
Has that been a challenge moving to different locations for people to kind of keep up with where you're at, or not so much?
I think we've tried to put it out there.
Yeah.
And so, and people know that, we didn't own the Women's Center and we don't have an actual building. And so, they
they expect that.
expect to have to look, kind of pay attention to where it is. But this is our 3rd show at Riverwoods.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been a year and a half that we've been there. So
And every time it's been a different location at the Riverwoods, but
yeah, a different.
we just say it's at the Riverwoods, and once people are there, they'll eventually find us. So
Yeah. This spring, it's in the old Gap space. So
So it's not even at the same place that it's normally
different
been.
suite. Like
We're on the main road, the main thoroughfare in the Riverwoods.
And so that's probably pretty cool because then you get some of the traffic from the Riverwoods comes in there and checks out. Who are some of the vendors? I mean, we were talking about some of the artists. Who are some of the vendors that people can expect to maybe find either at this event or other events?
Yeah, we try to keep, some old favorites.
Yeah.
I guess people have been at the show for a long time. Like we have, comes to mind, Kanani Hayes with Finalicious, Anne Made Jam. Those old favorites they've sold with the show for a long time. But we like to try to keep things fresh as well and introduce new vendors for each show.
Yeah, so you usually find, so out of the 60 vendors, there'll be about half are new people, new faces, and then half will be people who have had things there before, who are just really good and have excellent goods that they kind of change up, really make quality things.
Yeah. Is that kind of what makes you decide on who's a vendor, just based on the quality and kind of? I mean, what's the process like with picking who you're going to allow in the show, I guess, or is that just kind of depend? I don't know how to ask that question, I guess. I mean, what makes you decide on a certain person?
Yeah, definitely quality and something that's unique. Handmade has been one of our big requirements in the past.
Yeah. I mean, unique, definitely. I mean, there's all sorts of these kind of shows going on all over Utah, all over the country. I mean, all over the world, in order to keep people still interested in coming back and not just going, oh, not again.
I've seen this before.
Yeah, I've seen all this stuff before. We really try and seek out, not just people who come to us, but we try and find people who we, think their stuff is really amazing and unique. And so it's really special. Every show is,
because I mean Utah's full of crafters and everybody's trying to start up some new projects. So I'm sure there's a lot of people you have to say no to, and I'm sure that's tough sometimes to say no without hurting someone's feelings or something like that.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, what made you decide to not gear it more towards even Salt Lake City, to do it in Salt Lake City in the beginning? What made you decide to stay more in the Utah County area?
I don't know. I think, it's always been a Provo thing. And I mean, there's just an amazing group of people in Provo that, like you said, I mean, there's tons of crafters. And I think, I don't know, maybe it's like, the Beehive State. Everybody's like a little bit clever and thinking stuff up and busy. And there's never been really a necessity to move it, and we love Provo.
Provo's pretty cool.
Provo's great.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you have jewelry that you're making for the event. Do all of you guys sell stuff there, or is it just?
We do.
Yeah.
What do you guys make?
Well, I make. I do a lot of sewing.
Okay.
And work with textiles, and so I make purses and messenger bags and skirts and aprons and backpacks and just lots of sewn up things. So.
And I'm a landscape architect studying in school still. So I love all things, gardening, green. So I make a lot of, plant terrariums with glass, also hand cast concrete vessels, that kind of thing.
Both of their things are really rad.
And then your jewelry.
Yeah. Yeah. I started doing jewelry years ago, like 2008 or something. I was running my own business in downtown. And so I made it as a way to just have stuff in the store that I could sell of my own. And then found out about Beehive Bazaar and was a vendor doing that 4 or 5 times, and then sort of took a break, and then
now you're back.
Now I'm back.
Yay.
And so do you guys sell outside of Beehive Bazaar? I mean, do you guys have like Etsy shops and all of that, or is it just exclusively at Beehive Bazaar that you sell your stuff at?
I have sold before in boutiques in Provo and would like to do more, but it's hard to balance sometimes between school and full-time work.
Yeah, it's pretty exhausting.
Yeah. Beehive Bazaar keeps me busy enough usually.
Yeah. I like driving myself crazy for about 3 weeks before the bazaar.
Yeah.
And then just
Late
being
nights.
done with it after. So I just sell at the bazaar.
And I have an Etsy shop, but it's doing a few other shows here and there, but it's pretty exhausting, pace to keep up.
Yeah.
So I mean, doing Beehive Bazaar though all these years, what's been some of the most rewarding things for yourself with doing such a big event? I mean, I'm sure there's something that's kept you going all these years.
I think for the most part, we get excellent feedback, like from the customers, from the vendors. I mean, you know, it's so rewarding and it feels so good when people come up to you and say, thank you so much, you know, for putting this on. And you know, there's such a sense of community, and we just feel like this great, you know, like event bringing all these different people together. And so, I mean, that is huge. That is always
well, and just
great.
the nature of the show, like we're bringing people in. These vendors are what they're doing and what they're producing is their passion, and we're giving them a platform, you know, from which people, you know, so people can see what they're doing, and everyone loves it. You know, everyone's appreciative. Everyone has a fun time, and the show really is just this party. It's this weekend long party, and it's exhausting and it's crazy and it's at times stressful, but it's so fun too.
Yeah.
Just so fun.
Yeah, it really is a party.
Yeah.
Once you finally get to that moment.
Once everything's set up.
Yeah. You've worked so hard.
And we remember how to run our cash registers and stuff. Then it's really fun.
Yeah.
What would you say some of the biggest challenges that you face with doing it?
Cash register.
I know.
Cash-
That's the first thing I was
okay.
going to say. When we opened last show, so the last show was me and Richard. It was our first show as owners and kind of working that end of the bazaar. And within about an hour of us opening our doors, we had a line wrapping around a bunch of booths, going down an aisle and almost to the door. And that line didn't go away or get smaller for 4 or 5 hours. I mean, people were shuffling through, right? But yeah, like we can't ring people up fast enough as we want to. So that's really our biggest challenge. It's trying to get people rung up.
Yeah, because one unique thing I notice about your guys' show versus some of the others is the vendors don't stay there. There's just one main cash thing. Do you find that easier to do it that way versus having the people stay? I guess that'd be kind of tough to make someone stay there all day.
It's a lot easier for our vendors to be able to just leave their things there. And
well, and it's easier for the customer too.
Yeah.
Like I would, if I had to go find each person and pay them individually, I would buy less things.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, there's plenty of shows out there like that. I've been to shows all over.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you're pulling out your wallet every single vendor or, you know, every booth you go to. And I don't know, the central checkout, it just seems,
I love it. I love
more
the idea.
straightforward. Yeah. And not having to sit there with your booth. I mean, there's a lot of vendors who have small children and, you know, it's just impossible.
It can't be there for a whole
for
weekend.
12 hours.
Or 12 hours a day for a whole weekend.
3 days in a row.
yeah, especially after a bunch of all-nighters getting everything ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
To
They
do
get to
that.
go home and take a nap.
Yeah.
Describe the feeling you get when it's all over. The final night, you're wrapped up and you lock the doors and you say it's over for. I mean, what is that feeling like?
Noelle said it, just a huge sense of accomplishment, but at the same time, like, we're going to bed now.
Yeah.
We're exhausted.
Like, I
We
can't wait.
high-fived
so-
and said, see you in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I fell asleep so happily
Yeah.
and then woke up the next day and was like, oh, I really miss it.
I did
Really
too.
miss it.
And the very next day, you just miss it already.
We made this little playlist and it was all Christmas music. So I don't really hear a lot of it now, but if I ever hear a song that was on our playlist, I get really nostalgic really quickly. Or if I smell the soap that I bought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one thing I'm excited about, to have 2 weekends in a row, you know, is it kind of gets to get carried on a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've got a interim where you can kind of relax, catch your breath, perhaps improve a couple of things for the next weekend. And
Restock.
then, restock some more awesome handmade things.
Yep.
Have you guys thought about adding another, because besides May and December, have you thought about throwing like a September or
We have talked about a summer show.
Some other time, or
Yeah, we've talked about a summer show still in the works.
Yeah.
you're
Thinking
just
about
like,
it.
I don't want to
Stay
get
tuned.
overwhelmed. You don't want
Yeah.
Only thought about it. Yeah.
only thought about
We've thought about it just enough to mention it, but not enough to talk about it.
We probably
Much
won't
more,
even
just-
talk about it until a month after the show is
Yeah.
over. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good idea, definitely.
And we have our vendors asking for it. I mean, we've had a lot of people ask, why isn't there another show? Or
Yeah.
so we would love
I think
to.
a back to school one makes sense, like a late summer, early fall
Yeah.
deal. I think it'd be cool.
I don't think there's too much going on then. You need to do a little shopping, get something handmade for those back to school moments.
Little hand sewn pencil pouch,
Absolutely.
What other, besides doing Beehive Bazaar and your craft stuff, I mean, what are some of your other hobbies and interests? I always like to find out a little bit about the people behind the scenes, kind of what keeps them interested in life and stuff. What are some of their hobbies and interests of your
Richard does
guys'?
bees.
Yeah, I'm a beekeeper.
You're a beekeeper.
Richard
Yes.
does bees and chickens,
And I have
he
chickens.
has a
So
nice
you have like a little
vegetable
Kind
garden.
of like a
or-
farmer, I think.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have a garden.
You should
and
get some
I love to
goats.
garden.
Get some goats.
Yeah.
Get some Nubian goats, Richard.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
like,
yeah,
so you make honey.
yeah, I'm new to it, so
New to it.
we'll see how it goes. It hasn't gone well so far, but
Have you gotten like crazy, like stung by them? Or
just once is
like,
all.
by like 100 at one time?
No,
or
just one bee
one bee.
right on my lip.
Right on your lip. It did make your lip
Do you have
real
one of those
fat.
fancy suits?
I do have a zip-up
Nice.
white veiled hat suit.
Look like an astronaut.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
skinny
Nice.
astronaut.
Can I borrow that for Halloween?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet. And I like to ride bikes a lot. And I'm a ski instructor in the winter. So
Where do you instruct?
right now I'm teaching at Park City.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a good winter job. Keeps you on the hill.
How many years have you been skiing for?
Oh, I've
been
been
a
skiing
skier?
ever since I was like,
Okay.
4 or 5,
Okay.
but I've been teaching actually for like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
So,
I might have to come to you for some ski lessons.
all right. Yeah.
I've never been skiing,
What?
and I've
You live
lived in Utah for 20 years. And
I've been once in my life.
yeah,
You guys are
Yeah.
crazy.
I've been
Lived in
once
Utah
too, and it was for
forever.
45 minutes, and I was like, get me off of this hill right now. I hated it so much.
All right, that's it.
Sorry.
Group lesson, all of you.
what about?
Coming up.
Do you snowboard at all? Have you ever
Yeah.
been snowboarding?
Yeah,
What do you
I
like?
snowboard too.
What do you? Oh, you snowboard as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've taught that as well. It depends on the conditions. Like if it's really heavy powder, I'd rather be on a snowboard, but if it's light and fluffy or hard as a rock, I'd
Yeah.
rather be on a pair of skis. No, it's a good thing. You guys should try it sometime.
Try it sometime.
Yeah.
I just, whenever I started going too fast, and because I didn't know how to stop, I just would fall, and that got painful after a while. So I couldn't keep that.
See, you get your kids skiing. That's where it all starts. It's where you start to love it. And
Sounds expensive.
That's
what you
always been
teach.
my excuse.
Yeah,
I'm always like,
so
gosh,
expensive.
I have to take days off of work. I got to buy all the ski equipment. I got to get a pass, and if you want to get good, you got to go all the time.
yeah.
And so it's
Yeah.
an expensive hobby. What about yourself? What other things keep you
man.
interested in life?
I play a lot of volleyball when I can.
Okay.
Yeah, and I used to say that I run. I feel like I can't say that anymore. I don't run as often as I used to, but I am in the middle of also planning a wedding right now, so that's kind of all that my brain can really
Who's wedding?
process. My wedding. I'm planning my wedding.
All
Well,
right.
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
When's that happening?
July.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so as soon as Beehive Bazaar is over, that's when I can start actually thinking about wedding stuff.
And our summer show.
Yeah,
in
oh
your-
my
in your
gosh.
summer-
Get back from the honeymoon and be like crazy making
Summer show.
jewelry mode. Yeah.
So let's say somebody from Salt Lake or, up further north or out of town's listening to this and they're coming to Beehive Bazaar. What are some like favorite local restaurants or eateries or cafes that
where
you
to
guys
start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
always-
I mean,
we
I'm
always-
always curious myself. Some fun little local
We
places.
always find reasons to have business meetings.
yeah.
And find,
At our
go to
favorite spots.
What are some of your favorite places, especially here in Provo and Orem? And,
Yeah.
In Orem, you can definitely stop off at Pizzeria 712,
Okay.
which is right off of State Street. Yeah. Amazing food.
So
Very
good.
good.
Yeah. Wood-fired pizza.
The new Tortilla Bar, also on State by the University Mall. We've been there once together as a
Yeah.
group.
Tortilla
Teeny
bar's
tiny,
amazing.
but like amazing food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
yeah.
food.
Communal
Yeah.
downtown
Downtown
Provo.
Provo.
Pizzeria's sister restaurant.
Yeah.
And then in downtown, there's also
Station 22.
Station 22 is really good.
Which
It's on-
I've eaten there. They're
Yeah.
delicious.
yeah,
Delicious.
super
food.
good.
Center Street.
Blue Poblano is brand new. It's been open about a month maybe, and it's amazing. It's tacos, and is it the same people that do Black
I've
Sheep
heard it's-
Cafe?
Yeah, I've heard it's the same.
And how is Black Sheep? I mean,
Good.
everybody I hear from is great.
very
So I was
good.
just
Oh, it's so
curious
good.
from you guys.
Yeah, it's really really good.
And then the old favorite, Bombay House.
Oh, yeah.
which I know
Take
there's
a
a
Ate
run.
there
in,
tonight, so
Lucky.
I know. It's living the life, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're living
Bombay
it
House
up.
We enjoy eating out together.
Yeah.
So,
Heavy.
Do you guys, have you guys eaten at the? I say this in multiple episodes of the podcast just because I love it so much. When I come down, Mountain West Burrito.
Yeah.
You guys-
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
delicious
Love that place.
burritos. I love it.
Oh, I haven't
Not
been
not too far from. Actually,
You haven't
here.
been to Mountain West Burrito?
No.
delicious.
I'm in Midway now, and so I eat at Taramar a lot. That's a favorite.
That's out Midway way.
yeah.
Midway way.
Midway way.
Yeah.
Yes, and worth the drive. So if you want
What kind of food do they have there?
to, so it's Mexican food.
Oh, Mexican. Okay.
Yeah, with the giant salsa bar, they have like 30 different salsas, and just amazing mole and crazy, I'm trying to think, like tequila shrimp and just, all these shark tacos, duck tacos. Anyway, yeah, it's worth the drive. I've been there for meetings.
We were just there last week.
Yeah.
Any other places? I mean, it sounds like you got quite a few right there. And now, are you guys all from Utah? Do you guys all grow up here in Utah, or are you from other places? And
Becky and I are from Provo.
Born and raised
Born
here?
and raised,
Yeah.
yes.
And they're actually twins.
We are twins.
You guys
We're twin siblings.
Okay, we've gotten how far into this, and now I just find out you're
We're
twin
just
siblings.
spinning it now. Yes.
It's pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah.
I wouldn't, obviously not identical, but
Yes.
Hopefully not. Yes, thank you.
yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, we were
I feel
born
kind of
in
left
Provo.
out. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm not a
should.
twin.
Are you a
should.
twin, Noelle?
Yeah, no. Unfortunately. No. And I've grown up all over, but I've been in Utah for 20-something years now. Just
Where were you before
seems
Utah?
to be a good fit. Oh, in California and back east, I learned how to ski in Rhode Island. So yeah, all over the place.
But you call Utah home now, so
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Most
cool.
of my family's here somewhere in Utah.
Somewhere in Utah.
Yeah.
So back to Beehive Bazaar. Again, it's the 9th, 10th, and 11th. And then let's see, I wrote down the other dates here.
17th.
17th.
18th.
18th. What's the exact address for the Riverwoods, too, for people listening? Do you know?
4801 North University Avenue.
4801 North University
So
Avenue.
we're about as far north as you can go on University Avenue just before you go into Provo Canyon.
Okay. And you have a website, the Beehive. What's the website information?
TheBeehiveBazaar.com.
Okay. And are you on Facebook, Twitter?
Instagram.
Yep.
That's right. You mentioned
of
that
it.
you're in charge of all that stuff. And it's just the Beehive Bazaar. Is that the same?
Without the,
Okay.
it's just Beehive Bazaar.
And I'll put all the links on the show notes for this. How can, say, is there any way for people to get involved that don't make anything? Say they're just like, they love what you guys do and want to volunteer. Do you guys
Absolutely.
accept?
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
would
obviously
love it.
it's probably fair to say, yeah, you would accept it. And
Yeah.
without,
We love help, setting
Yeah.
up for the show, taking down for the show. Handing out flyers, hanging posters, cashiering during the event. There's plenty to do. So
Diet Coke runs.
Diet Coke runs.
Yeah.
and then submissions for the next show. I mean, if somebody's listening that say they make something and they think what they do is super cool, then how do they do that?
The best way is probably, if you follow us on Facebook, you'll always get updates. And it's usually like for this show, early February is when we open the application and, or sometime in February. And then for the December show, which is like the weekend after Thanksgiving, we usually open the application in September. So, but just if you want the reminder, follow on Facebook, follow on Instagram.
Yeah, we'll always post.
And Twitter, and it'll say, hey, application's open, these closes this day. And that's the best way to keep track.
Yeah. And it usually runs for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
The application. So.
And you guys probably see this do you see an end to this, or is it just kind of one of those things you're going to keep doing for as long
Keep
as you
going.
can
We have
do it?
good plans
Yeah.
for the bazaar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Like we said, this is the first year we've done we'll be doing the artists.
The artist.
Yeah. And so far we've gotten excellent feedback. I mean,
Yeah,
people
we're
are
very
like,
People are
"Oh,
really excited.
this is great.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about adding local bands, music at all? Or that'd be kind of tough to make
You've
it
done
like
that in the past,
like a
right?
festival
Yeah.
out of
we
it.
had a party night or the night before an opening.
Yeah. The first
Isn't that
night.
what you guys have done? Yeah.
One year we did, we've had some acoustic people come and play for the opening. And then, one year when we did it at Thanksgiving Point, and so we had a giant venue, we did a kind of opening night party, and you had to, pay admission, but we had Mad Max and the Wild Ones come and play.
Cool.
And that was a lot of fun. It was,
I guess it just
good
depends on the
times.
location
Yeah.
and where you're at.
this location doesn't really lend itself.
It would
Yeah,
not
yeah.
be a pleasant experience.
Yeah. But we should tell Riverwoods they can have a band outside.
Yeah.
in the
They
little-
do actually have music outside.
Yeah, they do most
The
nights.
last time I was down that way for the Beehive Bazaar, I remember there was some band playing somewhere out there.
Yeah. And they're really great to work with. Yeah. I mean, they
we love the Riverwoods management. They're
Yeah.
great.
generally have, something else going on kind of in conjunction with the show. And the second weekend, they will be having a outdoor bridal fair in the courtyard outside of where Beehive Bazaar will be. So it'll be kind of a double whammy. Awesome. Come and see lots of cool things.
And we do have some of our vendors that are making bridal specific items for that second weekend. So there will be new merchandise the second weekend.
Cool. So not the same vendors in even some of the same, some
mostly
different.
the same, but there will be some new vendors, and some of our vendors that have been there for the first weekend will make additional items for that second weekend. So
cool.
Yeah, so it'll be different show for sure. So
Awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna
good
be
reason to come for both weekends.
And it's free, right? It's free to get into,
Yeah,
right?
yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because you mentioned you have charged for some in the past, but
that was just for the one night, like the opening party.
Cool.
Yeah, opening night. But it's free every day. So
awesome. Anything else you want to add? I mean, we got the contact information. I'll put that all on the website. Anything else you want to add or make sure that we didn't touch on? Or
I want to add. I want to have a little special plug for our fun Instagram account because we're doing. We have a little image that we're asking people to regram with a mention.
Oh yeah, we'll
and
talk
a
about that.
hashtag to get to qualify or to enter to win $200 in Beehive Bazaar money for the show. So
$200 gift.
all you have to do is
they go on Instagram and find this picture.
Yeah.
They repost it.
Repost it with a mention and with a Beehive Bazaar mention and a Beehive Bazaar hashtag.
And when does that end to do that?
When's that end?
Is
the
there-
day before the show.
The day,
we'll announce
the day
Yeah.
before
the show.
We'll announce it the morning of the show.
Cool.
So
I might have to go do that then.
Right?
Absolutely.
Please do.
$200.
That's pretty good money right there.
Yeah.
So the beehivebazaar.com, the Riverwoods, go check it out.
Yeah. Handmade art and craft.
And locally made.
Yes. Yeah. You won't find it in a store for sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and sharing a little bit about the Beehive Bazaar and coming on the show. Hopefully, get some new people check out your event. I think what you guys are doing is awesome. I love it. I really do. I love trying to support local as much as I can. So it's nice to have an outlet where you can find it all in one place for gifts or whatnot. So keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
Okay.
So.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Love to hear it.
Many thanks goes out to Richard, Noelle, and Becky from the Beehive Bazaar for coming on the podcast and sharing the story and sharing some more information about the Beehive Bazaar with the rest of you. Again, their website is thebeehivebazaar.com. I got all the notes over at iamsaltlake.com/episode 65. That way you could get in touch with them on Facebook, Twitter, their website, find all the information about their upcoming show at the Riverwoods. Definitely check that out. Let them know you heard them on the I Am Salt Lake podcast. If you would like to help out the podcast, there's a few ways you can help out with the show. First of all, I want to thank any of you that have sent donations this way to help keep the podcast going. There is a donate button on the iamsaltlake.com website. $1 or $2 goes a long way. So thank you very much to those of you that have helped out that way. Also, an iTunes review goes a long ways. Leave a review about the show. It helps kind of boost our iTunes ratings, gets us in front of more people. Follow me on Facebook or Twitter. That's just facebook.com/iamsaltlake and then twitter.com/iamsaltlake. And feel free to share any episodes with your family and friends. That really is much appreciated. And as always, I love to hear any email feedback. It's just iamsaltlake@gmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes. That way you do not miss a single episode of the show. MediocreRadioNetwork.com as well. And get involved with all of the podcasts on that network. A really great network that I'm proud to be part of. Like I mentioned, I'm going to end this episode playing a song by a band called Q&A. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Again, the name of the song is Sleep Talking by Q&A. You guys have a great evening. Thank you for listening to another episode of the I Am Salt Lake podcast.
My sweet lady, how you looking on the west coast? But do you lie, wearing all your hipster clothes? But are you cheap, baby?